Atma Namaste, I'm Evita Miriam, and I want to talk to you about arithmosophy. I want you to quickly calculate in your mind or on a piece of paper. Since this is going to be video, you can always pause it, I suppose. So I want you to calculate the addition of your birthday. I want you to arrive at a single digit number. Now, if as you're calculating, you have to calculate, don't forget to calculate if you were born, for example, in 1990, 1 plus 9 plus 9 plus 0, right? I want you to come up with a single digit number. I will show you your life path number, what it means, all right? So come up with a single digit number. If as you're calculating your double digit, before you make it a single digit is an 11, a 22, a 33, or a 44, etc. It's hard to be more than 44, but usually these are master numbers. So keep that in mind, because I will tell you also what these master numbers mean. And you will have both. You will have mainly the master number, and then you will also have the attributes of the single digit number. So I will give you a moment to add this. And while you're adding your birthday, I will tell you your full birth date, right? The month, the day, and the year. I will tell you that according to Pythagoras, our character, our talents, shows through our birth date number, the single digit. This was called by Pythagoreans the depth number, the number of depth, the essence, the essential number. So this is something that as time goes by, we keep it. This is like the fabric of our lives, our talents, our potential. But as time goes by, we mature, and later on we acquire another number. We change so much. This is very useful to know because people think that as they grow older, they change and they lose that youthful energy or that which they had when they were young, and they change because they age. Well, there is some truth to it because we, of course, as we age, we wisen up. We become wiser, we become more experienced, we understand more things, we understand others better. But the truth is that we're predetermined in a way to have a change in our numbers. Some people don't, some people have the same number, but most people, like the great majority of people, have a different number as they are around the age of 49 or 50, a new number sets in and they change. For example, from a 5, which is a, adventurous, loving, happy, you can go to a 6, which is a nurturing, using the voice to nurture others, to help them. Someone who loves animals, people change. So, and this change is part of their numbers. So we are going to look at uh, your life path number, which is a very, very important number, and it's the fabric of your life. It is not your life cycle number, which is also going to set in and is going to make you succeed, or it will show you the way in which you will succeed. Because we are all determined, we're all destined to succeed. It's just that we don't know our divine purpose, our higher purpose, our heart's desire. Once we find our heart's desire, then it's much easier to succeed because our work is play. That's the most important thing, to live happily, to have every day doing something that we really love. I'm going to help you find your higher purpose and your inner heart's desire. But that I do in my mystery school of arithmosophy. And this is something so important. I remove inner obstacles through self-knowledge. I help you remove them, because when we know ourselves very well, we just it's like uncluttering. When you unclutter your home, then you can see what is of value to you. Then you can see the space. This is the same with ourselves. We think we are many things because we cannot bear not to be this one or not to be that one. We want to be everything. We want to be beautiful. We want to be intelligent. We want to be wise. We want to be everything. But we don't see that that 15-year-old in our hearts, that one that is the real us. And that is the most important part of us. And if we find something that, that is making us giving us a living through that, we're going to make a fortune. We're going to be super happy. We're going to be super loving, and we're going to have an amazing life. So this is what I do. I help you remove inner obstacles through self-knowledge. So by now, I'm sure you have added up your birthday number, because I love to talk about arithmosophy. So if your birthday number, if your life path, this is called your life path number. If your life path is a 1, you're a born leader. But the trick with leadership is you have to be a good leader, which means you have to delegate to others. You have to become cooperative. You have to learn how to allow others to bloom. If you have a business, you're not going to do everything yourself. Number 1 tends to do everything themselves. And that's why sometimes they are lonely, because no one wants to have someone telling them who they are or what to do, right? So number 1 needs to learn how to be more allowing of, to be more inclusive, and to be allowing others to work and to exist in their own way, and not to become tyrannical. So this is the challenge for number 1. Number 1, in their incarnation, they will, in the incarnation, when your life path is number 1, you may suffer. Each number has their own challenges, Number 1, let's say the good things first. Innovative, bold, they make a new start. They're not afraid to start things. They're not afraid to speak up. If there were no number 1s, we don't know where we would be. They're daring, they're inventors, they are powerful, they are leaders, but they they will be challenged with injustice. And when they're challenged with injustice, they will not, they will succeed if they are graceful, about it, and they do not destroy. Like, for example, if you suffer injustice in a group and you leave gracefully, although you've suffered injustice, without disrupting the group or destroying the group, without being explosive, or family, you let go, of the partner. I saw this wonderful uncoupling. I don't remember the name of this woman. She's amazing. She's in Mind Valley. She was talking about uncoupling, about couples, because people who divorce, there's so many divorces now, and people who divorce, if they uncouple consciously, conscious uncoupling, you just Google it, you will find her. She's amazing. And then they do conscious uncoupling, and this doesn't hurt the children. This doesn't hurt them. This doesn't hurt the person with whom they shared a life. So this is what number 1s need to do. Number 1s need to be gentler and more cooperative, because they have all the beautiful leadership and innovative characteristics. Number 2 is more feminine. Even if it's a man, feminine is soft, is sweet. It doesn't have to be, feminine in another way. Anyway, you know what I mean. Feminine is, passive, cooperative, very, very good healers and world servers. They often have the need to serve, to help others. They're amazing secretaries. Number 2s should never suffer from not being leaders. This is a waste of an incarnation. They love to help. They're amazing assistants. And, again, if there were no assistants, where would we be? And where would the world be? These are the best people. They are loyal. They make money always. They're very good at making money. They are like transmuting everything into gold. Number 2s are amazing. Their only problem can be that they may become too submissive. And when they become too submissive to a person or to whatever, an institution, whatever, then they may become cryptically, secretly, they may become resentful and bitter and hateful and revengeful. So beware if you're a number two. Just learn to express yourself. Learn to, you have to have this balance. You see, the balance of being able to speak out and say what you want. But you're amazing in organizing and, in helping situations. You are the one who can grow a business steadily. You're about making connections, contacts. Now, number three is the number of the person who is like the life of the party, magnetic, expressive. Do not ever repress a number three. Number three needs to express themselves always. And especially children who are number three, they really need to express themselves. In pranic healing, we have an amazing yoga. It's just a one movement, one exercise that is called the super brain yoga, and that's for overactive children. If you have a child that is over expressive and too, dynamic, then if you want this child to be more studious and more, spiritual, um, whatever spirituality means to you, it may mean just to be studious. Then this yoga is going to help the child move the excess energies from the basic chakra to the higher chakras. And the child will be happier, the heart will be fuller, more open, the crown will be, fuller, and then the child will be happier, more peaceful. It will have the ability to spend its energy in studying. And not only, in joy as well, being happy, but not being this destructive, overactive child. So number three is the number of the person who's born to write books, the person whose expression will be used ideally in showing others their divinity in them and in everything around them. The three is an inspirer. It's like divine intelligence. It's the number three is the intelligence number. Also, number five is intelligence. Number three can become too loud. This is again, coming off balance. You see, every number, when it's off balance, when it's excessive in its attributes, then it comes off balance. And what does it become? Too loud. Number threes often suffer from being too extrovert, although inside, being extrovert doesn't mean expressing yourself too much. You may be a real introvert and express yourself. It's interesting that Pythagoras said that the numbers that are odd, the odd numbers are the positive numbers, and the other numbers are the negative. That's very interesting. So number four is the number of a person who is completely practical, but also academic. Number four doesn't want anyone to tell them anything spiritual or mystical or magical or unknown without proof. Number four needs validation through the mind for everything. They are good at real estate. They always need to possess their own home, to possess land, and they will always manage to have that. Number four is a number by which you manifest all your heart's desires. Number four has a love for the occult, but it needs to be taken to the occult and to wisdom in a way that has evidence. And the truth is that there is more evidence about the occult and spirituality than not, because we have proof through the Bhagavad Gita, through the great teachers of humanity, through Pythagoras. We have proof, solid scientific proof, that there is indeed a divine intelligence. I have a session called Esoteric Arithmosophy that proves that there are name makers in the higher planes, and it can prove this to a 10-year-old child. It's not it is a mathematical proof, but it's something that is astounding. Even a 10-year-old child can understand what it means. So number four's challenge in this incarnation is not to be looking down upon others, because number fours can become great doctors, academics. They can go up to a PhD, they can become professors, they can become They're knowledgeable people. So number four can construct an amazing construction, but it may crumble if they look down on their coworkers. They have to be maintaining this awareness that we are all souls, each one on a different step, you know, and there are infinite steps upwards, much better than us, whoever we are, infinite steps downwards, whoever we are again. And all we need to do is give a hand of help to those who are lower, to help them rise. It's like being a teacher imagine if you're a teacher in primary school and you're looking down at your students because they know nothing. What? You don't know what one and one means if you're a toddler? So stupid. For example, we are like that. Humans are like that. We look down on people who are less educated, less refined, less intelligent, less beautiful, less rich, less wealthy, less whatever. So we need to give, just all we need to do toward those who are not as successful, or accomplished as we are, is to give a hand of help, and to those who are higher, to give an ear, listen to them, because perhaps they have something to teach us. So number four just has to maintain humility and not to be aggressive in any way toward coworkers. Number five is the, you know, um, Pythagorean says that we're born in a linear sequence, like in the previous incarnation, we were number four. In this incarnation, we're number five. I don't know if you believe in incarnations. This is something that has so much more proof than the opposite, that really is astounding again. Even Lord Jesus said, who am I? Who are they saying I was? Was I Prophet Elijah? Was I this and that? Reincarnation was something that people of any wisdom knew to be a fact, always, in all ages, in all millennia. They knew it to be a fact. And, of course, we have religions that are unfortunately withholding that from us, that information. It's a pity, because they could really be a bit more open. They're afraid, I suppose, to lose, to say that, oh, yeah, this exists. I didn't say this earlier, or I didn't know this. Now I realize. It's terrible when people who are in power do not ever acknowledge any mistakes. We all make mistakes all the time. Anyway, let's go faster. I don't want you to lose interest, because I want you to hear your number. Number five is the happy, rosy life of a child, of a soul that has been number four and has enjoyed being number four, and has attained academic honors and real estate, and now just wants to be having fun. Number five is a number of intelligence. As a matter of fact, number 55 is the number of directed from above intelligence. Number five is the number of love, of marriage, and of intelligence, which shows that it's more intelligent to be married and to have love in your life than anything else. Number five is the middle number between 1 and 9, and is the middle path, is the number of love. Love, intelligence, and in ancient Greece, goddess Hera, the goddess of marriage. Hera is known more for being a jealous goddess and all that, but this is really like saying that Artemis was the goddess of hunting. No, she was the goddess um, who protected the hunt, the hunted animals, the wildlife, right? So Hera was the wife. The wife is the legitimate, the loving, the kind, the appropriate companion. And number five is that number. Of course, number fives also are the numbers that are so loving that when they're adolescent, or even throughout their whole lives, they are so loving and they want so much to have experience, because they are the adaptable number. that they are acquiring experience for the soul. So they are like, may have many partners, they may change many life partners, they may not life partners, they may change many partners, and they may change many homes, many countries. This is a depth. This is looking for oneself, trying to find who they are. At the same time, they are collecting experience for the soul. But there comes a time when we have to stop collecting experience for the soul and we have to do something with it, right? There's a reason why we learn in order to improve ourselves. So number 5 has this downfall, let's say. It is the tendency to be changing too much, not being reliable, because it changes its mind all the time, changes home, changes country, changes city, it changes lovers. So number 5 just needs to be more stable. Number 6, but it is a happy and loving, and number 5 will never stay alone. If they want, they will always have a loving companion, and they may marry twice if they're divorced, you know. So number six is the number of the creative intelligence, the creator. They need to work like number 5. They both need to work freelance. They cannot be in a job, you know, they cannot have routine. They need to create from joy, you know. If they're not joyful, that's not a day to be creative. It's a day to do laundry or something else. You know, it's a day to go out and take a walk in nature. It's not a day to be creative. So they need to create from joy. One amazing thing that number 6 has is very intuitive, incredibly intuitive. Number 6 will be, for example, preparing to go to a party, preparing to, enjoy, being very happy. And suddenly, as they're thinking of what a good time they will have, their energy will drop. And then this is a sign from their higher soul and from their intuition, higher intuition, that it's not going to turn out as well as you think. So be prepared. And this is what the challenge for number 6. When this happens, they have to be prepared, to be calm, and to be, being prepared means being prepared to be sweet when attacked, when, attacked by someone verbally, or there are many ways people can be like, with a look, they can really harm another person, or with their vibes, their body language. So they just have to prepare calmly for that and be graceful. And when they're graceful and they're reacting properly without exploding, then, because 6 is also very emotional, so they can, then they win. They're successful. Number 6 is also the number for nurturing others. They love, from the mineral to the angelic kingdom, everything: plants, stones, animals, humans, and they're very good um, caretakers, but their tool in their work is their voice. The voice is what they will use in order to nurture others. They're excellent life coaches. They're people who want to help others. They want to help others bring the best out in them. Number 7. Number 7 is the number of spirituality and studiousness, is the disciplined soul. Imagine that Lord Pythagoras would admit to his city of the chosen all number 7 life paths without the 5-year silence trial. Can you imagine? I mean, 1 week without speaking for me is going to be, bringing out some, some psychosomatic reactions, because I love to talk. It's my life. 1 month Vipassana is amazing. I admire those people who do that. Well, 5 years of silence, I mean, it changes a person completely, right? So people went there and did that. And if you had a number 7, Lord Pythagoras would admit you without the 5-year silence trial, because number 7s in the life path position, if you have a number 7, then it means you're a disciplined soul and naturally studious, naturally spiritual. Number 7s are very lonely because number sevens always, they look, they in essence they see others and they always expect more of them, and others just are not as studious and as spiritual, and they are so disappointed. The life is just not as refined as they would like it to be, you know. And that's the truth. They have to admit it. They have to become a bit more all inclusive. They have to accept others as they are. And they have to perhaps become teachers, wonderful teachers. They would be wonderful spiritual guides, wonderful pranic healers, amazing pranic healer instructors, all number sevens. What else could they be? Writers. If you write a book and you're number seven, there's no way, or number three, there's no way this is not going to succeed. Number sevens are, they have to go through some mental tests, They have to go, this is their challenge. In life, when you're number seven, you'll be challenged on the mental plane. And of course, also the way to control emotions is through the mind. So perhaps they will have to control the emotions through their mind, and it will be hard. But they are capable of, number sevens are of a higher nature. They are like third initiation stuff, they are like going toward the second and third initiation. They're advanced souls usually. Now, if you're seven, you don't like studying, you don't like spirituality, you have to search in your, which I have never met one, but if this is the case, that doesn't mean you're not an advanced soul, that doesn't mean you're lower than others. Just look into your circumstances. Were your parents too spiritual? Were your parents trying to force, not to force, trying to make you see the value of something that you didn't that you reacted to? Is it a reaction, or did you come across the wrong books? Were you not given interesting books? Where was education forced upon you, as unfortunately is done in a very, very destructive educational system now, because we could give children amazing books, to open their mind and make them geniuses. Everyone can be a genius. A genius, as my teacher says, is someone who's connected to his higher soul. That's what a genius is, not someone who is born better. Of course, we are all downloading a soul that is either an older soul, wiser, uh, but also intelligence is related to self-confidence. Now, the problem with number seven, to continue with number seven, because I'm taking up a lot of time here. Number seven, the thing about, but you can always fast forward to your number if you want. Number seven is the number that, is usually lonely. They don't marry sometimes, I don't want to program you again. If you listen to this and you say, oh, this is what happens, so I'm going to look out for this, then you can marry fast if you want. So they usually marry later in life, because what they do is that they don't find at first the person that they're looking for. And then what happens is that they will, as we all do, they will compromise a bit. Like, this is a nice person, he likes me, let me try, and they compromise and they are disappointed. Or life sends them those soulmates that are really not on the same level as them intellectually. They cannot do it, They're not as pure spiritually. So they have a lot of purity. They want to be pure, number sevens. So they don't like it, they like order, they like purity, they like angels. So, and then compromise after compromise, not in the wrong sense, but in the human sense. I mean, if someone loves you, or if you feel for someone, you will accept them, and then you will be disappointed, right? If they're not the right one. What they need to do is to set higher standards, not be disappointed, but find, for example, groups with similar interests. Like, for example, I'm not trying to advertise pranic healing. Pranic healing is my life. My teacher, Master Chow Kok Sui, has taught me everything I know, And my life has changed 180 degrees since I became a pranic healer to the better. Um, there's no depression anymore. Depression is not existent, non-existent for a pranic healer. If you're a pranic healer and you're depressed, you just do healing and you're healed. If you're anxious, you just clean your solar plexus chakra. It's so easy. So we have techniques, that are very, very appropriate and wholesome and natural, coming from the surrounding prana energy. So, pranic healers, have this system, have these groups everywhere in the world. There are classes and centers, pranic healing centers, that you can attend even online now with COVID. That offer this kind of people. Like all pranic healers are spiritual and studious. And if there's some not so studious, then they love to study the mysteries and the ancient knowledge. So you can find perhaps, if you're number 7, you will find your clan in pranic healing or in another spiritual group. This is where you should look for your companion. You should just put higher standards and you will find your amazing companion. You know, just be a bit more open in their external appearance. Don't be so strict, because number 7s are also like children. Like if the person is not dressed perfectly, they are very, very fine, refined, right? So this is their challenge, that they tend to be alone. They stay alone for years and years until they find the right person, because they don't look in the right places. So number 8 now. Number 8 is the opposite of number 7. Number 8 is the leader who is very, very practical, very organized, the CEO. Number 1 and number 8 want to have their own business. They cannot be good. They're not very good employees unless number 1, hardly an employee, unless you're an employee in a magazine and you're a freelance reporter. I mean, you're a reporter that works for a magazine, but you're free to travel around. That can work for number 1. But I cannot imagine many jobs that are good for number 1. I cannot imagine many jobs that are good for number 8 unless they're CEOs, top CEOs in big businesses. They have amazing organizational skills. They are great leaders. Their amazing quality also is that they are of the Buddhic plane. They are intuitive. They will know in a crisis exactly what they need and what everyone needs, and they're going to be the ones who will lead you in the shipwreck to the lifeboat. They will know where the thing is. If the crew doesn't come on time, they will do everything themselves. They will organize everyone. They are amazing. Their problem is maybe that they do not have so much self-awareness, psychology. If, for example, you tell a number 8 that you had, what you said to me was, was hostile. You had this hidden hostility that was subconscious, perhaps, that it was a very aggressive thing to say to me. They will say, what? I just said to you that you're in your, I can't imagine such an example right now off my head, off the top of my head, but they will find an excuse, because they just will not see. They don't want to see. They don't want to know. They don't want to know their hidden motives. They don't want to go deeper. They need to study philosophy. This is the way for them to balance, their, because this makes people not happy. If you don't know yourself very well, then you tend to become heavier, heavier. But number 8s are very good, they can change. This is why we have this, right? Not to tell you that you'll get heavier and you will never know yourself. It's to offer you a venue to know yourself. And it's wonderful to know oneself, because then a whole burden of what we are not just drops off, and then we just see the goal. We see our life's purpose. It's wonderful. It's healing. Wow, it's healing. Anyway, So number eights have this tiny little problem that I just said. They don't want to know about themselves. They don't want to know psychology, but they're amazing leaders. They're the true leader, captain, the captain, oh, captain, my captain of a group. So number nine, and they always make money. Number eight is the money number is the success number. 88 is the master number of success. So number eight will make property, will make money, will build. They're builders. They're contractors, they're builders, they're solid people. Number nine is the humanitarian lover, and number nine are the ones who are going to want to bring out this, to work for the brotherhood of man. They're the ones who will dream of making that eco village and living with like-minded people, etc., etc. They're the beekeepers. They're the people who will grow bio food, organic food, and they're the ones who are going to take care of the homeless person and give them their extra flat that they're not renting at the time for him to stay for a while. I mean, they're amazing humanitarians. If their life doesn't have a humanitarian higher goal, they're never happy. So they will find it for sure because they find it in a daily life. The problem with number nines is that they burden themselves. They take up so much of other people's, worries and work that they burden themselves. They worry about others. They care about others. They need to let go and trust that the others will make it, that they cannot take up on themselves everything. They need to be looking after themselves first. We all need to look after ourselves first. We need to be well. We need to be healthy, happy, joyful, in a high vibration. What if everyone is in despair about what is happening and everyone is trying to give their own clothes to the other person, and their own food and their tears flowing, and it will be a hell, earth. That's what many people are doing. Considerate people, instead of lifting themselves up and raising their own vibration so that then they can have a lot of energy and they can find their life path and do it through their life path and their life purpose. They are like scrambling to help and then they are sinking. So number nine tends to do that. That is their problem. Also, their problem is that they get upset. They get very, very angry often, because people don't understand them. They feel misunderstood, and they tend to be aggravated. They need to be a bit more peaceful, more understanding, more patient. Patience is the key word for number nine. Patience and understanding. And number nine is a lover, but not necessarily the lover of many, like a man who wants to love left and right. They're very loyal. Number nine, um, well, they will be challenged in this. They will be challenged by anger and by, other people coming in their lives, and they may fall for love or money. But number nines will make it. Number nines are amazing. Number nines have so much love that their home is safe always because of the love they have in their hearts. It's like, they're so loving that nothing can happen in their home. They're protectors. They're wonderful. So number 11, let's say very quickly about a couple of the master numbers. Number 11 is the number of the master intuitive number. It is the number of the genius, the number of the person who is completely on another level, has gone through the cycle of life, at least the zodiac, December sessions, labors of Hercules. So it's like he has gone through the cycle of the zodiac at least once or many times, and they are on a higher level of understanding of our spiritual makeup. Number 11s are very intelligent since they're children. They're always inventing. They're very musical. They are inspired. They are the as above, number, the as above. They're always looking up. And the problem with number 11s is that when they are young, especially, they may feel that no one understands them and that they are underestimated and undervalued, and that no one sees that they are right. What they need to develop, not all number 11s, but some number 11s need to develop setting small goals and going step by step, because number 11 will see the end result, will be inspired, and will see the great thing that can be accomplished. But, they will not really evaluate that the process that will lead to that. Now, so they need to just develop a little bit of self-confidence through the process of setting one by one steps. Number 22 is the number of the master architect. This is the number of my cycle now. Come, Harula. Come. It's my dog. Come. Come. Harula. Yeah, you can do it. It's a very low sofa. It's my cutie. She's one of three. All right. Number 22. Oh, Harula means little joy, little joy. She's being seen. Lovely. All right. We're finishing now. We're wrapping it up. Number 22 is the number of the master architect. This is my cycle. I'm a master architect from now and until the end of incarnation. This means that the master architect will love architecture, as indeed I also do, will love to have, can be really a master architect and build bridges, towns, huge buildings. But the master architect is the one who can build a great foundation of the mind, of the spirit. And that's what the master architect number is. It is the one that's so below, is the one that brings the energies from above below to the earth and grounds them. It's composed of two twos. So it is gold. It will manifest and it will materialize whatever it brings, whatever inspiration it has. It brings down inspiration into matter. That's what it does. Good for us, number 22s. Number 22s will always succeed. Of course, number 22s have the double two, which is, number 22s have this, they have to learn not to be too submissive. They don't want to argue. So sometimes they become too submissive. And sometimes, they're submissive where they shouldn't be. And they're not submissive where they should be. So this is their problem. Number 22 always succeeds. Of course, we are the ones who determine whether we will live up to our master number or whether we will be our 4, instead of 22 to be a 2 plus 2, a 4, our normal number. So we're the ones who make it happen. Number 33, very quickly, is the selfless giver. Ideal pranic healer, ideal pranic healing organizer, ideal nurse, ideal nurturer, ideal life coach, ideal writer of books, self-help books. Self-help books. We used to call them self-help books. I don't think this is an appropriate title anymore, because that implies that we used to be a generation of people who had crutches and who relied on others to tell us everything about ourselves. We have to liberate ourselves. We have to claim the knowledge from the ancients, from the contemporaries, from whoever knows, and use it to help ourselves, But this is the status. This is what should be our normalcy, not something that sounds like a self-help. Self-help should be our only concern, right? So how am I going to help myself to rise? So selfless giving, number 33. Downsize, too much giving, too much giving, too much giving, exhaustion. Beware. Number 44, very quickly, I will tell you the master numbers. Number 44, master therapist, pranic healing. Whatever you do, whether you're a reflexologist or you're an acupuncturist or you're an alternative healer or you're an amazing doctor who is especially pathologist and sees holistically the body, or a pranic healer or a Reiki master, you are master therapist is the number for you. Master therapist brings down the knowledge of the therapy and it materializes, it's two force and can really create like centers of healing. It's a number where you can really succeed. There's no failing as a professional therapist if you're a master therapist, and that's what people need. People need healing more than anything else. 55 is number of directed intelligence, and this is the number of the person who has divine guidance, is very, very intelligent, super intelligent. 66 is the number of super creative. Okay, we have said in the sixes and the fives what are the problems. 77 is Christian, Christ consciousness. If you're Muslim or you have another religion, just higher level of consciousness. Christ consciousness is a level of attainment. It can be it's a very high level of attainment of spirituality and of oneness with all. A person who has number 77 is at one, doesn't feel this separation, doesn't feel this grumpiness in their lives. They don't complain. Well, perhaps they complain, but they are at one with the whole, more often than others. Let's put it this way. Number 88 is the number of success, master number of success. If you have 88, you can make billions, but there's no point in making billions if you're not determined to use. Then once you make millions and millions, if you're not determined to find the way to give them and where to give them in order for those millions to make most, to provide most goodness for others, then what is the point of having too many millions? I mean, you can have some for yourself to live well for the rest of your life, to have the perfect home, perfect travel, as much as you want. You don't want to be traveling all the time, to stay in beautiful places, to take amazing courses. You can spend so much money per month and you can have beautiful home, beautiful country home, you know, so much maintenance in everything that you can have, yacht, stuff, too much work. It's better to give your money to people who really need it and see those people happy and loving it, enjoying their lives, making people, giving education to others, giving tools to others to succeed. So if you succeed a lot, then you have to dedicate your life to finding where to give the money. That's where what comes, the responsibility that comes with having too much money is finding where to give it. And be careful not to give it to the wrong people, to the wrong organizations, because you're not getting any good karma from that. Number 99, finally, for you, finally, because I could teach all day. Number 99 is, I also have a 55, Avita Miriam is a 55, so directed intelligence, nonstop. Number 99 is the fulfillment number, master of fulfillment. Number 9, according to Lord Joel Kuhl, is the number of initiation. It's a number of completion, right? Because it's the biggest number there is, the largest one-digit number. There are only 9 numbers and 0. So number 99 is the number of master fulfillment. With this number, you're fulfilled. You are fulfilled spiritually. You're fulfilled. Our basic needs are easily fulfilled. Believe me. If you have no anxiety, you will see that just trust and you'll have everything you need. and all your basic needs, your material needs will be fulfilled. Then your uh, then there are the mental, the emotional needs. Then you have love. You need love. Invite people for lunch. This is how you will have love. Love. You have to give, to ask people in your life, and then give to them, and then they will come, and there will be an exchange. Then it is the mental needs. We fulfill our mental needs through studying what we love, through learning, because knowledge is power. Education is power. Most low self-esteem stems from feeling not intelligent enough and that you don't know enough. Well, if that is the case, A, there are some things you know that others don't know. I'm sure everybody knows some things that others don't know. B, most people who know a lot don't know so many things because all they do is read those books that interest them. And C, you can always learn and improve your self-esteem if that's what you need. And then master of self-fulfillment is the number when the person acquires, completes their personality and they are spiritual. Then they understand that there's a higher purpose and they are fulfilled in this purpose. They're fulfilled. They are givers who are, you know, they are benefiters of humanity. I don't know if this word exists. They benefit humanity greatly. So I hope you benefited from this. If you're interested in joining our Mystery School of Arithmosophy, you can Google, www.evitamiriam.com, and there is a membership service. There is a section I wish for knowledge, and in that section there is a membership for the Mystery School of Arithmosophy, where we have self-knowledge sessions every month. And we also have mysteries. We talk about the mysteries, about the cycles in nature, about the divine plan, about things that are very, very interesting. So if this is something that you would really love to do, if you would really want to join this group and you need to know yourself deeply, this is for people who know themselves already. It's not for people who don't have a clue, obviously, right? It's for people who want to know their divine purpose. And I will prove to you that we have that. I will prove to you in the esoteric arithmosophy session. So if you want to be part of this, join us. Join the Mystery School of Arithmosophy. I have made it at a ridiculous price so that everyone can afford it. It's only $19 a month. I know my life coaches, my mentors will be with their hair standing up because they're always telling me to raise my prices, hundreds of dollars, hundreds, and then thousands. $19 per month for all who want to know everything they want to know, their heart desires. Because I want you to be able to afford it. That's all. That's my only motive behind that. So, Atma Namaste. I'm Evita Miriam. It was lovely talking to you. Whoever you are, Harula is making noises of discontent, which means I've had enough of being still, mommy. So I hope to see you soon. Have a wonderful day, afternoon, evening. Bye.